Sanjay Uchi here, people. What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So what I really wanted to do with this video today is follow up on my promise to actually do reviews on the Boruto manga, especially now that I've caught up with it. The latest chapter as of this recording, this video here, is chapter 24, which actually came out on Saturday, which is a bit earlier than I expected, but I guess since I wasn't reading the manga monthly, you know, for the longest while, I guess I kind of forgot what point in the month it actually comes out. But anyway, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think. Now, going into the chapter itself, chapter 24, I'm not gonna lie, it's a very impressive chapter writing wise. Coming off the end of chapter 23 actually, and going into chapter 24, a lot of I'd say the main reason why a lot of persons would have been invested in the Boruto series, whether it be the anime or the manga, and have held out up to this point, that reason, that investment is starting to pay off, because Kawaki, the character that was introduced at the start of the Boruto series, whether it be the anime or the manga, in the flash forward that we actually see a destroyed village and a Naruto that's implied to be dead. Chapter 24 really and truly kicks off what they're dubbing the Kawaki Arc in the manga apparently, and we start to get more on this character. Now, we see in chapter 24 a bit of Kawaki's backstory, where we see that his biological father seems to have been a person that was abusing Kawaki, like, growing up. He actually went ahead and we see him sell Kawaki for a large sum of money to the Kara organization. It's at this point that we actually see Jigen, the leader of Kara, actually take in Kawaki as his adoptive father at this point. But it's clear to see, or at least it's logical to conclude at this point, for now at least, that Kawaki, even after being adopted by Jigen and taken into Kara, that he still had a troubled childhood. The fact that they refer to Kawaki as the vessel, yes, your theories and my theory was right. Kawaki is what Kara refers to as the vessel. Honestly, a lot of what we've seen so far dialogue wise seems to objectify Kawaki and not really treat him as a human being based on how even Jigen speaks about him. The chapter really starts off with Team 7 coming into contact with Kawaki, and Kawaki essentially having that flashback with his father, and basically he wakes up, creates this massive explosion, and it's just straight dialogue from there between Kawaki and Team 7, and we get to find out that Kawaki has actually been fighting members of Kara. So for some reason he seems to be trying to escape from Kara, which, based on the conclusions we made based on the flashbacks and dialogue, I guess we can theorize why. Now, what was cool in this chapter is that one of the other members of the Kara organization, the Inner Circle, for those of you that don't know, Kara's hierarchical structure is basically based on, how should I put it, they have what's called the inner members and the outer members, essentially. So we get introduced to one of the inner members that we saw in a previous chapter when Kara was just introduced, and her name is Delta. Pretty interesting design, I must say. She's got that bitchy attitude apparently. But at the start of the chapter as well, we see her conversing with Jigen, who at the time seems confident that Kawaki will return to him, and he seems even confident in Kashin Koji completing the mission to carry back Kawaki. But she loses her patience and she heads to the field itself, where she realizes that Boruto has a karma mark as well. So, as I would have mentioned in a previous video, that it's only logical that all the members of Kara know about the karma mark, and by extension that have information on the Otsutsuki clan, which would make sense at the end of the day. So we see Delta's outer member Garou coming eventually to take on Kawaki, and Kawaki like states that you know, he actually blew off his jaw or something along those lines, and we see Kawaki engage him in combat, which more or less ends the chapter. Now, what I'll say is this: the chapter is decently paced, I'm not gonna lie. It starts to build on the investment that we, the audience, the viewers of Boruto, have actually invested, our patience really, because that initial scene in the beginning of the manga and the anime, the flash forward, I'm almost 99% sure that is the main reason people have been waiting and biding their time until Kawaki shows up. So the fact that we got it in this chapter, a bit of his backstory, but at the same time it's decently paced. It's not like they cram a bunch of information in the chapter either way. There's still a lot of unanswered questions, so there's still some things left to interpretation, or better yet, there's still some mystery to it. And the fact that we got some backstory, that was cool too. And it should even be noted that apparently even at this point Kawaki seems pretty skilled. I mean, it was just one line by Mitsuki making note of Kawaki's speed, but the fact that Mitsuki, who's arguably speaking the strongest member of Team 7, bar Konohamaru, I mean, out of Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki would arguably be the strongest. But the fact that he made note of Kawaki's speed, that's saying something, honestly. So there was that. So pacing, payoff on our investment. The plot is moving along. That is probably the best aspect of this chapter, honestly. But that's not to say that the manga overall has been bad. Honestly, after the Boruto the Naruto the movie recap, I've been really enjoying the manga, but that's probably more so because I read like I binge read more than likely. I didn't have to wait months upon months to read from the beginning to chapter 24. So in one straight read, I'd say the manga absolutely it's good compared to the anime for obvious reasons. But honestly, God, no, I'm forced to wait monthly again like everybody else. But I must say, I'm starting to get that old school vibe when I was reading Naruto Weekly back in the day. Honestly, it would be, I don't know if it's the right thing to say if this series was a weekly manga series, if it would be better. I don't know. But this waiting once a month, it's crazy, honestly. But it's interesting how this is all gonna play out. We still have a lot of unanswered questions. What does it mean for Kawaki to be the quote-unquote vessel? I mean, what is Kara's overall plan at the end of the day for Kawaki? Or what's their end game really and truly? And how do like Kashin Koji, how does he fit into this? What's the mystery behind him? There's so many questions that we still haven't got the answer to, and I'm absolutely loving the build up to what I'm hoping to be an incredible payoff at the end of the day. I'm hoping this Kawaki arc turns out to be pretty good, because this is the time for the writers to actually, reward us, the viewers, who have been waiting patiently for this story, this plot point, this point in time that was planted at the beginning of the series, and we finally reached the true point in time that we're actually building up to that very moment. So far, I'll give chapter 24 a rating of good. It's good. The pacing is good. The plot is going along. We have decent characterization to Kawaki in terms of, well, probably not characterization, but at least, finding out more about him. That's always good. But all in all, that's all I have to say about chapter 24. The Boruto manga has, I guess, at the end of the day, at this point, finally solved the what's the term I'm looking for? The engagement problem, or the interest problem from the Boruto series, where tension and all of that was concerned. So I feel if not before this point, you can truly get invested at this point in following the Boruto manga. At least the anime is still in its tuning exam phase, so there's that. And in a sense, I guess it makes sense, since really and truly you could say they're stalling for time for the manga to build up, but but anyway, let me know what you guys thought about the chapter. What do you think about Kawaki's backstory and the recurring theme of, parenting and bad parenting? Even though we've had cases of that in original Naruto, but the whole parent-child relationship thing is a major thing in recurring theme